so good to be back here in South Carolina, home of the Gamecocks.
The iron Keyshawn soars in from the weak side, however, and flushes that down.
There it is.
Driven hard, the Gamecocks will take the series against their rival.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm your host, Derek Scott. Coming up on today's program, we've got coverage of lots of South Carolina sports that we're going to get into, including some baseball as the spring season is underway, some softball as well. As we start with our Prisma Health injury update, in fact, we'll start with some baseball news. South Carolina is getting relief pitcher Eddie Copper back from the injured list. He has not participated yet this season due to a strain of his lat muscle, but Eddie's cleared and will soon be taking the field for the Gamecocks and providing a boost to the bullpen. Meanwhile, behind the plate, Gavin Braylon missed a couple weeks with a high ankle sprain, suffered with an amazing catch at the Citadel. He returned to action this past week against College of Charleston to give the Gamecocks a bit more depth at that all-important position as well. And that's your injury report, brought to you by Prisma Health, the official team physicians of the Gamecocks. Let's switch gears now to some track and field, some indoor track and field. The SEC championships recently took place. The Gamecocks were well represented and able to come away with medals and All-American honors.
So this weekend, as I've opened the conversation up with, is about competing. It's about putting away any fear, any doubt, any uncertainty. We're not going to ruminate into what this is going to go wrong, what if this goes. We're going to think positive this weekend. We're going to get this done this weekend.
See, it is the 2025 SEC Indoor Track and Field Championships.
Set.
What they're doing in South Carolina is definitely working.
She first for South Carolina. Busy few days for her. She ran the 200 meters and 400 meters, made the finals, getting both.
Ford, the 200-meter champion, has never lost a 200-meter race indoors to another collegiate. Shauna Dennis looking to reach his first SEC final.
Boy, a great performance by the Gamecocks in a number of different events. We start with shot put, where South Carolina had two All-Americans. Dylan Taggart finished fourth overall. C.J. Licata was the SEC runner-up, so they both claim All-American status. On the track side, Jamija Ford, third place in the 200 meters. That means her second consecutive first-team All-American honors. And Shayla Scott was fifth in the high jump, her first All-American honors. Congratulations to all of those student athletes. And we're back with more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's game day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day Guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider, everybody. The South Carolina women's tennis team, they're on a rocket ship right now. They have seen their ranking get all the way into the top 25 thanks to some recent performances, including a really impressive weekend recently here in Columbia that included knockout wins against Florida and an Auburn squad that came in ranked in the top 6 in the country. Let's take a look at some highlights. Switching gears now from tennis to softball, time for our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. That is pitcher Sam Gress. The Gamecocks recently knocked off Georgia in a 3-game series, and in both of the South Carolina wins, Sam Gress was the winning pitcher. She was dominant for the Gamecocks. First time they've won a series against the Bulldogs since 2017. And congratulations to Sam and the Gamecock softball team for getting that done. We're back with more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for just $379 a month for 39 months. Toyota, let's go places.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, If you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
Good hard work has earned Desmond Umeozulu the title of Colonial Life Academic Athlete of the Week. A member of the football team, Desmond is a mass communications major at South Carolina. This week's Academic Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Colonial Life. Colonial Life, the benefits of good hard work.
Here's a drive to left center. Jones got all of that one. Mother Nature does not need to help. That is gone. Over the pines in left center. Another tape measure blast for the Gamecocks. The last home run that Scobie hit a couple innings ago was 439. Let's see what that one measures up at.
That's your Sansbury. Did you see that play? Kennedy Jones with the longest home run of the season for the Gamecocks, just a hair under 450 feet. It bounced on the concourse and then hit the ticket office in center field on one hop. If that gives you any indication what kind of a blast it was, it also powered South Carolina to a victory over a nationally ranked team from Oklahoma. Now, while we're talking baseball, I recently had a chance to visit with head coach Paul Maneri for our Cruising with the Coaches segment. Let's take a look. Hey, Gamecock Nation, we're back for another season of Cruising with the Coaches, driven by EasyGo. All season long, we're going to sit down with Gamecock coaching staff members and have some other special guests, and we'll do all of those interviews right here from the comfort of this brand new, custom Gamecock-branded EasyGo golf cart. Best part of all, you've got a chance to register to win this beauty. So let's get started.
Coach. Hey, Derek.
How are you?
How we doing, buddy?
Good. How about
Good
you?
to see you.
They wouldn't let me take you on the golf course,
Oh,
so
no?
we at least get the golf cart.
Too many creeks.
I just think they don't want me playing golf anymore these days.
Is that right?
Something about worker. I don't know.
I don't know. You know, I took 3 years off coaching. I played about 400 rounds of golf, and then I came to the conclusion that I don't think I'm going to get any better at golf. And I couldn't imagine just doing that for the rest of my life. I felt like I still had some coaching in me, and I felt great. Thank goodness Ray Tanner gave me a call and invited me to come to this wonderful place, and here I am. But the golf game's on hold.
So, for 3 years, you're away, but a baseball guy never truly steps away. How much attention were you still paying to the game, and in what form?
Derek, this game, it gets in your blood. It really does, and I grew up with it. You know, my father was a legendary junior college coach, and I grew up in his dugout. I don't remember life not being in the dugout with my father, and you know, I just, you know, have been around the game my whole life. It's hard to just turn a light switch off.
Sure.
And I just felt like, okay, when Ray asked me to do it, I thought I'm okay. I physically can do this. I never lost my love of the game, and I never lost my love of coaching, and I couldn't think of a better place. If I could have picked one place outside of where I had been and where I had left, of where I would pick to go coach, it would have been the University of South Carolina. And the reason was because look at this beautiful ballpark.
Yep.
You know, you have a passionate fan base. You have winning history and tradition. I just felt there was still magic in the name Gamecocks. And I thought, you know, maybe with my effort we can improve the program a little bit and get us back to where I felt South Carolina is rightfully supposed to be, and that's in Omaha, Nebraska, playing for the national championship.
All right, let's talk Omaha since you brought it up. You've been there a bunch, and not just at LSU, but what does that whole experience mean to you that you were able to lift that trophy? And what stands out to you the most about that particular experience?
Well, I'm sure it doesn't come as a surprise if I told you that it's the dream of every college coach to take a team to Omaha. And when I was a young coach, when I was at St. Thomas University and then at the Air Force Academy, and then starting out at Notre Dame, I used to lay in bed at night, Derek, and I'd talk to the big man up in the sky and say, "Dear God, if you could ever let me just take one team to Omaha, I'd never ask for anything else." Well, then my Notre Dame team went in 2002, and then I started laying in bed after that, and I'd say, "Look, I know said it only one time, but it was such a cool experience. I'd really like to do it again." Well, I was fortunate then to take 5 more teams there, and we won it all in 2009. And it was such a wonderful experience for so many people. And I hate to even just talk about the experience for myself, because so many people get so much enjoyment out of a national championship. You know, the school you're representing, the state you're representing, just everybody that has worked so hard to get a program to that level. And you just feel so happy for all of them. And it was really something that, you know, you just can never forget, and it means so much to you. So much so that I'd really like to do it again. And I'd like to do it right here at South Carolina.
I think we'd all like that very much.
You know, a lot of people like to talk about, you know, what we've done, you know, wins, losses, championships, things like that. But for me, the true value, or the true indicator of my success as a coach is when I look out there in the public, and I see all my former players that have gone on to do great things and help society and raise beautiful families. That's what I'm most proud of.
Well, look at this. We pulled up next to some seats from Rosenblatt Stadium. That's,
wow, how about that?
Not a bad place to wrap this thing up. What do you say?
Isn't that great?
Coach, we appreciate the time.
Listen, Derek, it's been great being with you, and what Ray Tanner did, and before him, Bobby Richardson and June Raines, and what Chad and Mark Kingston have done. They've built a great tradition here. And I'm so proud to be a part of this tradition. I really am, and I'm going to do everything in my power to uphold this great history and tradition of the program, and maybe add a few more notches to the belt for this university.
Sounds good to me. That's Cruising with the Coaches, folks.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for just $379 a month for 39 months. Toyota, let's go places.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player. Like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider, everybody. I'm Derek Scott. If you follow along with a program called The Follow, it's on Gamecocks Plus, and it really drills deeply into Gamecock baseball. Recently, episode 2 was released. It is called The Windup, and appropriately enough, it has to do with Gamecock pitching. A couple of starting pitchers in particular, Jake McCoy and Dylan Eskew, who are anchoring the Gamecock weekend rotation. Let's take a sneak peek at that episode.
Confidence and humility are like rivals, each representing ideologies opposite from one another, both with a desire to win. The 2025 Gamecocks bring a new roster with fresh faces. Sophomore Jake McCoy is one of these faces. Both his confidence and humility are put to the test early in the new season against a highly touted opponent and longtime rival, the Clemson Tigers.
1-1 toss. Line drive over the leaping glove of Petrie at first. It rolls into the corner of right field. Listy rounds first. Mayshore had some trouble collecting it in right field. Listy now headed for third, and he'll slide in safely.
Okay, so for me, kind of the big thing was like they hit the leadoff triple, and I went to back up third base, and I heard their crowd yell at my back, and I kind of thought like, this is gonna be a long game.
A windy Saturday afternoon in Greenville. With a runner at third, nobody out. McCoy fires his 2-2. Swung on and missed. Elevated heater at 93.
Then I K'd the next guy.
Within 5 feet of the track, and that's no to Canarella's power hitting ability. 18 home runs in his career. The 2-2. Fly ball left side. Kennedy Jones moves over a bit to his right and left field. Now a charge ahead. The wind behind the foul. Makes the grab. Well, the play. They've got a play. It's in time, and the tag is on the money. Inning-ending outfield assist for Kennedy Jones as he throws out Listy at the plate. Wow.
Talking about setting a tone. Just set a tone with your defense. See if you can come in now and respond with the bat. Huge play.
I saw the throw out of Kennedy's hand, backing up home plate, and I was like, this might happen, and got him. So it was sick. But yeah, after that play happened, I was really excited and just gave me all the more confidence to roll in the next inning. I think people in the dugout were saying that's the loudest Carolina crowd they've ever heard, so it was pretty cool. Well, that's one of the biggest things for me is wanting to stay in state. One of the recruiting tools they use is want to have the best players from South Carolina and South Carolina. And I just thought it was perfect for my family to be able to come to every game and support me. It's a huge thing for me. So it was awesome for me. I came to this place, I visited it, and I knew I wanted to be here. It was awesome. So. This year, having a full fall and full spring, wintertime, all that stuff has been huge for me, just kind of get my feet wet and start to understand what college baseball is really like.
As far as last year, he was hurt all fall, so we didn't really know what we had, and then he kind of came out last year in the spring and started throwing live at bats when he finally got healthy, and he was 93, 96, and we were like, holy cow, who's this guy? We didn't really even know we had this guy. He got his feet wet a little bit last year in SEC play and kind of got thrown to the wolves a little bit and kind of went through that, but I think it made him better. And then he came in this off season and worked his tail off to get where he was, and he came in this fall absolutely ready to go and throwing it hard, throwing strikes, and he looked like almost a completely different guy.
Yeah, it was an intense battle. I was selfishly hoping that I was going to kind of edge other guys out, and Coach Maneri brought me into his office and kind of told me, hey, this is exactly what we need to see from you. And in the last few starts I had in the early spring and fall, I executed what I needed to, and I proved him that I can be on the weekend.
Canarella, the center fielder for the Tigers. Now on the top of the fourth, we are still scoreless. 60 extra base hits as a Tiger. The 1-2 from McCoy. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's Game Day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
We are back to wrap things up on this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. It's time for the On the Road segment, brought to you by our partners at Toyota. The Gamecock baseball team is headed to Charlotte on Tuesday. They'll take on the North Carolina Tar Heels at the AAA ballpark in the Queen City. Always a yearly fun tradition as we get Gamecock and Tar Heels fans together under the same roof. So look forward to that one. Meanwhile, it is postseason time for a couple of other South Carolina sports. We will start with men's swimming and diving. They're headed way out west to Washington State for the NCAA championships. And the South Carolina equestrian team will be headed to North Carolina, the Tryon International Equestrian Center. That's just across the state line from the Spartanburg and Greenville area. That's the SEC championships for equestrian. And that is On the Road, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. That's all for us on this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm Derek Scott. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.